The truth shall set you free. Oh my goodness. So y'all remember the VP debate, right? You guys remember towards the end of the debate how Walt asked Vance, hey, did Trump lose the 2020 election? And Vance responded with a deflection, essentially, talking about, I'm focused on the future right now. I'm more focused on censorship.
Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
What? And the irony is that if there actually was censorship, those January 6ers who are now in prison, who are still being imprisoned, and sentenced, that probably would have saved their lives, to be honest with you, because they wouldn't have seen the misinformation that Trump was putting out. They wouldn't have seen the misinformation, the disinformation, actually, that the campaign was putting out. And maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't have gone to the Capitol and done the foolishness that they did. But that's neither here nor there. Nevertheless, right, he's been giving non-answers. There was another at his campaign, right? He's talking, he's, giving a speech, and someone asked him, well, why didn't you answer the question that, Waltz asked you? And he gives the same answer, right? It's almost like he's an NPC, like he's been given a script. This is what you say if anyone asks you this question.
Why didn't you answer the question last night during the debate about who won the 2020 presidential election?
Well, look, here's the simple reason. The media is obsessed with talking about the election of 4 years ago. I'm focused on the election of 33 days from now because I want to throw Kamala Harris out of office.
Well, eventually, if you keep knocking at that door, somebody's going to answer. So you have this tag team comedy duo, the Good Liars, and they catch him. They catch him walking into some event, and they're like, well, Vance, did Trump win the election or, did Trump lose the election? They ask him again, and he's just like, yes. He's like, wait, so Trump won the election? Yes.
Who won the 2020 election? Could you just answer, did Donald Trump win, yes or no?
Yes.
He did win.
Yep.
And from there, it just goes downhill, because where do you go from there? So naturally, the next follow-up question is, well, if you don't get the votes to win, are you going to concede, right? Are y'all going to step down? Are you going to accept the fact that you lost? And he doesn't answer, and he continues going on his way.
So will you concede? Will you concede? If your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
I really feel bad for you, man.
I just want to know, if your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
And that is for anyone who saw the debate, right? And that was probably, you were a little hesitant on him not answering the question or him deflecting. Now you have your answer.
Like how trustworthy I think the candidates are grew for both of them, in my opinion. But the one thing that stuck out to me was Vance's refusal to say whether or not Trump lost the 2020 election.
This man believes that Trump won the election. He believes that there was election fraud. The deep state caused Trump to lose. January 6th was justified, and all these people are patriots, because that's what you would have to believe. If you believe that the election was stolen, then yes, that would make January 6th patriots. That would make these people heroes trying to defend the country from, from election fraud, essentially, from their votes being ripped from them, from their rights being taken from them via the deep state. Even though all of his prior campaign, all of his staff, for the most part have said, no, there was no, widespread voter fraud. Barr said so. Everyone. You have even judges who looked at his cases were like, no, get the heck out of here. Everyone. All right. His previous attorneys, that have come out and said that. Even he knew, according to the lawsuit that's going on, USA versus Trump. So, I mean, right then, that should automatically disqualify him from anyone who is an independent with an IQ above room temperature who was voting for him. Honestly, that should disqualify him from anyone who was voting for him that wasn't an independent. That if you were genuinely a Republican, and right now, the party's fractured, thanks to Trump, because it's no longer Republican. Now it's MAGA or Republican. And that's why you're seeing a division, because Trump doesn't represent the Republican Party, So now what he has done is a hostile takeover of the Republican Party, where now, once he gets into power like he did last time, everyone who's a Republican has to just cower because he's the leader of the Republican Party now. He's the head of the RNC, essentially. So, because they're not going to, bump heads, and they're just going to go, well, yeah, absolutely. If that's what Trump says, and that's what Trump says. Because they want to, save their butts, right? They don't want to get flack from his cult, all right, and then lose their, lose a House seat or a Senate seat. Some of the most never Trumpers are actually, in fact, actual Republicans, actual conservatives, because they see that, hey, this man ain't really, he's not doing the benefit for the party, okay? He's not, like if it was Trump in the White House right now, we would already be in World War III, because Trump would be essentially bending on his knees and giving Netanyahu anything that he wants. Okay, that's essentially what would happen. Trump would probably be egging Netanyahu on, like, absolutely, go ahead, invade Iran, invade Russia, invade China. I'm right there. I got you. That's where we are, unfortunately. This man is completely compromised. You can say that of Kamala and Biden when it comes to Israel, but when it comes to Trump, there is no red line for him. There's none. So on a litany of factors, and now that we have a VP, unlike Pence, right? Unlike Pence, who at least had some scruples and morals when it came down to the line, right? When it came down to the line, he was like, okay, I've, been on this roller coaster enough. I'm not going to do that, bro. I'm not going to send in fake collectors. That's not what's going to happen. But Vance has nothing to lose. Vance will go down with the ship, okay? He will go down with the ship. So that's what makes these next 30 days so troubling. Because the rhetoric is just going to escalate. And these people, the same people of January 6th, these people, they don't know any better. I hate to say that. I hate to remove autonomy from them, but they're essentially just children in adult bodies, unfortunately. They're dumb, they're uneducated, and they're very gullible and naive. And when you're in this cult following of an echo chamber, if you're going to do as the sheep do, the sheep go off the cliff, you're going to go off the cliff. So many of them don't feel that those that stormed the Capitol did anything wrong. So if you're coming under the mindset that they didn't do anything wrong, what's to stop you from doing the same thing or worse this election? Because this is it. This is what Trump has said. This is it, right? He's not running again, unlikely. So there is actually more on the line this election than there was the last election, okay? So if you know now that the stakes are raised, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if you had military, okay, guarding some of these ballot centers and whatnot, because, I don't see how you won't have escalated presence of some type of enforcement, because these people are going to crack. Okay, they're going to crack, and Trump is not easing up on his rhetoric of, hey, the only way that this is a fair election if I win. They stole the last one. You're having Vance now say that they stole the last election. So they're very much on the same page when it comes to repeating these lies. And the people are the same people. Some have woken up, but others they're still asleep, bro. They're still gone. It's going to repeat itself. January 6th will happen again if you still have the same rhetoric. And I don't see it toning down. So I just hope that there's certain precautions put in place to prevent, God forbid, any type of bloodshed. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, what's the other side, bro? Either you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or you understand the election wasn't stolen. It's as simple as that. If you're one of those, then Godspeed, bro. Godspeed. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me, Friday through Sunday. Disagreement day, you can call in and we can duke it out. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. What does this mean, bro? What are you, hesitant, about November coming up or after November? I don't know. We'll see. And subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
Who won the 2020 election? We're going to go to town hall. Could you just answer, did Donald Trump win, yes or no?
Yes.
He did win.
Yep.